Becki and the Polar Express. Autumn was almost over on the island of Sodor, and the trains were keeping really warm with their passengers, and they were going up and down the lines. Freight trains were doing their job too. They were pulling freight cars as usual. They were pulling 2 or more or lots of freight cars while they were going from place to place of where they need to go. But because freight trains are so long, they hook up more than one engine together. And that's what's called a manifest. Because boxcars can be loaded with multiple items. If they're poisonous or not, that's okay. And it was really useful. One day, Becki was delivering fruit and vegetables to the farm fields. They were gonna grow for the last time until springtime. She was really busy. And she steamed up to the grade crossing. And the lights began to oscillate while Becki steamed over as she was in a rush. And the gates went back and forth, and Becki steamed over a bridge. "Whoopee!" she said. "Choo-choo engine coming through!" And Becki was steaming to the farmer's market, and she wasn't late at all. And she stopped just in time. "I just want to remind you that there's a storm coming tomorrow," said Charlotte. "So there's going to be lots of snow. Make sure to plow it out of the way with your cow catcher." "Thank you, Charlotte, I will," said Becki. "That sounds good," said Charlotte. "It does," said Becki. Just then, a big black, blue, and yellow train came steaming towards them. "Merry Christmas, ho ho ho!" said the woman engine. It sounded like Santa Claus's kid. It was a long train. "This is the Polar Express," said Charlotte. "It is the Polar Express," said Becki. "It's for Christmas," Charlotte said. Just then, Mr. Cakester arrived to see Becki. He had an important job. "Before the snowstorm tonight," he said, "I'd like you to help fill in for Lucia while she's off island." "Yes, sir," Becki said. "Ho-ho deja vu is tomorrow." "It is for Christmas," said Mr. Cakester. Becki was soon uncoupled from her freight cars, and she steamed off to Knapford Station. It was a long way there. Becki steamed over a mini grade crossing without gates. Becki was soon at Knapford Station talking to the other engines. "I found the Polar Express," said Becki. "That's exciting," said Trishie. "My name is Polly, and I'm the Polar Express," she said. Moiki Lacey was surprised. "That's sick," she said. "I've never seen a Christmas woman train before." "Neither have I," Lacey said. "It's incredible." Thomas was proud. I'm working hard on my branch line before Christmas, Thomas said. Meanwhile, Leo was pulling 156 freight cars over to Becki. It was a lot of cars. She pulled up just in time. She was excited. "Merry Christmas!" Leo said. "I'm here with the supplies." "Merry Christmas to you too," said Becki. "Tomorrow's Christmas Eve." A few minutes later, Becki buffered up to the freight cars, and she steamed out of the station. "Chugga, chugga, 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 choo-choo!" whistled Becki. "Woman train coming through!" It was special. And the train was long. And she steamed onto Loisia's branch line that merged into the northeast corridor. The freight cars were full of natural items, and there were lots and lots of crates. "Faster, faster!" laughed the troublesome trucks. And the train steamed along the corridor with all its weight. And the boxcars were full of nice stuff. And some of the tank cars were full of hazardous materials. And the train clattered down the track at a nice pace. And in the rear was the brake van, also known as Caboose. Ahead was a danger signal. Judy was pulling her passenger train. And Becki was in a rush. "I must get my goods delivered before the snowstorm," Becki said. On! Faster, faster!" laughed the trucks. Just then, Judy was on the corridor, and then she saw Becki right in front of her. "Oh my goodness!" she cried. Her driver threw on the emergency brakes, and Becki's driver did the same thing. But then it was too late! "Oh no!" cried Judy. "My bumper and funnel! It's getting sheared off!" And then Becki flipped over, and the freight cars bounced. "Oh no!" they cried as the explosion occurred. When the crash came to a stop, silence covered the tracks. Luckily, no one was hurt, but Judy's bumper and funnel were sheared right off, exposing her funnel. And Becki had flipped onto her side. "I won't get to the North Pole now," she said. "And I can't move without a bumper or funnel," added Judy. And one coach had landed in this cold, chilly sea. Just then, Toby arrived to clean up the mess. And his driver threw on the emergency brakes. And Toby stopped just in time. "This looks catastrophic," Toby said. "I've never seen such awful stuff before." Mr. Cakester arrived. "I'm sorry, sir," Becki said. "It was a mistake." "Cheer up, Becki," said Mr. Cakester. "The snow won't cover you up tonight." But Toby was worried that Becki might not come back for the rest of the year. And then the workmen cleaned up the mess.